Alright, in this video we are going to take a slight step back and do very little calculation, but really just analyze and make sure that we understand definitions and exactly what we are looking for when we talk about a pyramid versus a prism and lateral face versus a base, capital B versus lowercase b, things like that. So all I want us to do in this type of a problem, or in this type of problems, is to identify information that's already given to us on our diagram. So when it says what is the height of the pyramid, you have to look at the two figures and recognize one's a pyramid and one's a prism. The main difference, remember, is the number of bases. This has only one base, that makes it a pyramid. Whereas this has two bases. Base does not necessarily mean bottom. It's your opposite, parallel, congruent faces. That makes this a prism, two bases. So I'm looking at the pyramid up here and I want to know its height. 18.8 is the edge, 17 is the slant height. That makes 15. Vertex perpendicular to the base is the height. The height is 15 centimeters. And we just talked about it. Slant height is your cursive L. Vertex to base, but along a lateral face. And it's a perpendicular bisector. That makes the length of my lateral, or of my slant height, 17 centimeters. And the shape of the lateral faces. Remember, the definition of a lateral face is any face that's not a base. So it's the surfaces, the sides that you can touch. When I'm talking about a pyramid, those are always triangles. So the lateral faces in that pyramid are this face, and you've got this one over here, and then the one in the back. There's 4 triangles, whereas in the purple here, the base was a square. The next 3 questions are all asking about a prism, so I'm looking at my figure that has 2 bases. What shape are the bases? I highlight them for a reason. That really draws my attention to what the base is. The base is not my rectangle on the bottom. The base is your opposite, parallel, congruent faces. In this case, these are right triangles. Just a triangle would be fine. The height of the prism. 16 is the height of your base. Height of your prism is the distance between your bases. Remember, I am 5 feet 11 inches tall. That does not change when I lay down. I'm still 5 feet 11 inches tall. My height doesn't change when I lay down, when I stand up. Height's still the same. The prism is the distance from base to base, or head to toe, whether that prism is standing up or laying down. This one happens to be laying down. That makes this distance from base to base my height, 58 meters. And then the perimeter of the base for the prism, this is the one where we actually will have to do a little bit of calculation, because when I'm talking about the perimeter of the base, again, the base is my triangle. So I want the perimeter of that. Well, it's 16 plus 63 plus, we've got to figure out our third side length. This is a right triangle, so I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. Leg squared plus leg squared equals, that's my hypotenuse, I'll just call it x for now, equals x squared. And when we solve this, we wind up getting x equal to 65. So I take that 65 and add it for my perimeter, and I get 144. I've just added, so meters plus meters plus meters stays as meters. The only time I have a squared exponent or a squared variable or label is with area, and I cube it with volume.